Hello, I'm Joanne Muse of the Tax Lien Lady, and I have a question for you. Do you know what's the most profitable state for tax lien or tax deed investing? Well, I'll tell you. It's Texas. Why Texas? Well, the top 5 out of the top 10 best big cities to live in the U.S. are in Texas. That's right. As a matter of fact, numbers 1 through 5 of the top 10 big cities are all Texas cities. And if that's not enough, 5 out of the top 10 best small cities to live in the U.S. are in Texas. The number 1, the number 3, the number 5, the number 6, and the number 10 best small city to live in the U.S. are all Texas cities. Now, there's more. You see, Texas is not really a tax lien state. It's a redeemable deed state. So in Texas, you purchase the deed at the tax sale. And you're actually considered the owner of the property when you purchase the deed, but the previous owner has a period of time in which he or she can redeem the deed. And that's 2 years for homesteaded and agricultural properties, and only 6 months for all other properties. So what's a homesteaded property? Well, that's a property that somebody lives in and has applied for a homestead exemption on their taxes. Now, any other property besides a homesteaded or agricultural property has only a 6-month redemption period, and those are residential properties that are rented, or commercial properties, or even properties that the owner might live in but has not applied for that homestead exemption. Well, in order to redeem, the owner has to pay the bid amount. That's the amount that you bid at the sale, any recording fees that you paid, and additional costs and additional taxes that you pay on the property. Plus, they have to pay a 25% penalty on whatever you paid if the deed is redeemed in the first year. And if it's redeemed in the second year, they have to pay a 50% penalty on everything that you paid. But there are some myths about investing in Texas. Some people make it sound too good to be true. And you know what? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. For instance, there's a myth that you can buy properties at the tax sale for pennies on the dollar. You know what? This is not the best kept secret in America. Other people know about it, and they're there bidding at the tax sale too. And sure, you can buy swamp or desert for pennies on the dollar with nothing on it, but then you wouldn't be able to sell that property once you have it or rent it out. But for good properties, it's more like, well, we'll see a little later, more like paying quarters on the dollar for the property. And then the other myth is that most of the properties will redeem and you'll make 50% on your money year after year. Well, let me tell you what really happens. Well, first of all, what it really costs to purchase the property is the bid price plus any taxes owed since the judgment. Now you're the owner of the property and you have to pay the taxes. You have to insure the property and secure it. And of course, you would have had expenses to do your due diligence on the property before you purchased it. And if there's someone living in the property, you might have to evict them. You have to do the maintenance on the property, and if the property is vacant, you'll have to get renters in the property. So again, it's more like buying a property for quarters on the dollar rather than pennies on the dollar. But is that still a good deal? Well, sure it is. It's like buying a property for the down payment. In reality, most of Texas tax deeds do not get redeemed, but you have to be prepared that it might redeem, and you want it to earn cash flow during that redemption period. So you need to know what it will rent for so that you will know what the cash flow is, not what it will sell for, what the equity is, or what the ARV is. So it earns you money instead of costing you during the redemption period. Here are the pros and cons of Texas tax deeds. Well, one of the pros is that there are frequent tax sales in Texas. Some counties have these tax sales every month. and the short redemption period. Non-homesteaded and non-agricultural properties have a redemption period of only 6 months. And the penalty is not an annualized interest rate. So if you buy a redeemable deed and it redeems in 2 months, you get the full 25%, not an annualized rate. And if you use an agent to do your purchasing and due diligence for you, you don't have to do any of the work. Plus, you are the owner of the property and you can get rental income as soon as you purchase and record that deed. Here are some of the cons of investing in Texas. You have to attend the sales live. There are no online tax sales. Now, some gurus sell you programs that teach you how to do it for a few $1,000s. They'll take you there and show you how to do your due diligence, and you could go to the sale and purchase the property. But what they don't tell you is that many of the properties are removed before the tax sale. So half of the properties that you do your due diligence on, and some people that I've talked to, all of the properties that they've done their due diligence on are gone before the tax sale. So doing it yourself is not easy. And you're not allowed to inspect the properties unless they're vacant. But there is something that you can do. Find out more about Texas and the other two most profitable states to invest in tax liens or tax deeds, and how you can profit from them and have someone else do all the work for you. Come to our Chicago Tax Lien Investing Conference. It's from 8 to 5 on Friday, July 26th. Join the Tax Lien Lady, that's me, and Platinum Investment Properties West for the REI Expo Saturday and Sunday after our conference. Find out more about the conference and REI Expo at www.tax-lien-lady.com/conference. Now, if you're not sure if you want to go to the conference or not, let me give you some information. I'm going to tell you about the conference schedule so you know what you're going to learn there. We're going to start at 8 o'clock with a continental breakfast and networking. And at 8:30, we're going to jump right in to an introduction to tax lien investing. And the 3 most profitable states for tax lien investing. And I'll be giving those presentations, and then we'll have a mid-morning break, and then we'll come back to learn about the tax lien investing state with the highest return and how you can have your investing done for you. And then you're going to learn how to get the tax sale information. And then we're going to break for lunch. After lunch, we're going to come back and learn how you can invest with your self-directed IRA. And then at 1:30, we're going to have another presentation on redeemable tax deeds, secondary tax liens, and cash flow. And then a mid-morning break. At 2:45, we're going to come back and you'll learn how you can insure your investment. That's right, you can insure your tax deed investment. And then you're going to learn more about the #1 state to invest in right now, and you know what that is now, right? It's Texas. And you'll learn all the ins and outs of investing in Texas and how to have someone do it for you. And then at 4:15, you're going to learn about clearing the title to tax sale properties and how you can do it quickly and easily. And then we're going to have a short Q&A period, but don't worry, because at 5 o'clock after the conference is over, we'll still be there to answer your questions. Okay, I look forward to seeing you at the Chicago Tax Lien Investing Conference. It's at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday, July 26th, ahead of the REI Expo. Find out more about the conference at www.tax-lien-lady.com/conference.